Hello there. It's the chairman of the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. And welcome to my 11th episode of 2025, where I am bringing you my new comic book day recommendations for the week of March the 12th. And to start the week, we saw 224 new releases and 398 releases overall. And that number's down slightly, which is a good thing. I know a lot of people out there collect the variant covers, so they get to save a little money this week by not having to pick up all those covers that they would normally pick up. So that's a good thing for those people. But let's break it down by publisher like we always do. And as always, we're starting with Marvel. So for Marvel this week, we're going to a galaxy far, far away with Star Wars Legacy of Vader, issue 2. I picked up 2 covers this week, but it's written by Charles Soule and Isuna Hasekura. And I picked up covers from Derrick Chew and Betsy Cola. This is the Derrick Chew variant featuring Vader and Kylo Ren. I thought this was a really dope cover. And the Betsy Cola version is a Women History Month cover featuring Rey, which is also beautiful. You'll be able to see that later up on my other social media platforms. But in this issue, Kylo Ren returns to Tatooine, the home planet of his grandfather, Anakin. The young tyrant must go up against Gardulla the Hutt and her guards and a Rancor. What secrets of the past blow in the harsh lands of Mos Espa? Really excited to sit down and read this one. It's going to be really good. Can't wait to see Gardulla the Hutt and Kylo square up against a Rancor. I think that's going to be a really cool scene to read in this book. Really good, by the way. This is the second issue. I enjoyed the first one immensely. Going to DC this week is something special. It's Swamp Thing, Volume 2, Issue 37. This is, of course, a reprint. It's a facsimile. I picked up 2. I picked up the foil variant of this facsimile and the regular facsimile of this book as well. And it's a very special book to me personally. It's very much a key to my collection. And someday I will pick up a actual version of this, but it is pricey. But I will pick it up eventually. But in this one, it's written by Alan Moore with art by Rick Vetch and John Totalben, and cover is by Stephen Bissett and John Totalben. So what's so important about this book here is the first appearance of John Constantine and also Swamp Thing being 2 of my favorite characters from DC. So this book holds a lot of meaning for me. And someday I will own the original version of this book. It just ain't today. And by the way, the original price of this book was 75 cents when it first come out. That is really cool. And I think I paid like $4.99 for this one. So crazy how times have changed. So we're going to jump over to Dynamite this week. And I have issue 3 of Green Hornet, Miss Fury, written by Alex Segura and Henry Barajas. And Francesco Francavilla did this beautiful cover. I'm really enjoying his art and the covers that he gets to do. So in this issue, the true identity of the masked murderer is finally revealed. The Green Hornet finds himself pitted against his close friend, with Miss Fury's life hanging in the balance. Luckily, the pulp heroine is no shrinking violent herself, and the shocking results of her investigation may prove to be the key to survival for all 3 of the costume vigilantes. I love the throwback with the Green Hornet, Miss Fury. It's really fun read. I can't say enough about Alex Segura and his writing. It's always really good, whether it's a book or a comic book that he gets to write. Can't recommend this enough. It's been really fun read. So we're going over to BoomStudios this week with Bronze Faces number 2. This debuted on the podcast a couple of weeks back. The first one was so good, and this one is not, slowing down at all. So this is issue 2, written by Shobo Coker and covered by Junie Ba. In this issue, the Bronze Faces attempt a daring theft aboard the opulent Kano Express, but tensions flare through the group as opposing strategies come to a clash. If you want to see the first one, go back a few episodes. I can't remember if it was episode 8 or 9 where we had the first one, but it's really good. And I'll give a lot more details on what this book is actually about in that episode. But this has been really good. We're only 2 episodes in, or 2 issues in. Go pick it up, give it a read. You'll enjoy it greatly. Bronze Faces issue 2 by BoomStudios. So next up, I have OniPress with Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave. I didn't even realize this was out, so I missed issue 1. But I talked to my LCS, and they're ordering me issue 1 to go with this, so I should have that in hopefully next week, maybe the week after. But in this, it's written by Justin Jordan, and cover and art is by Chris Sheehan. In this issue, Harley Creed has been cursed, and unless he can find and kill the bad man who hexed him, he'll be dead in 7 days. His next stop, the Weaver Clan, the local family-run crime syndicate that Harley used to enforce for, and the only ones believed to be capable of that type of magic. So I've seen so many great things about this book, and I wanted to pick it up, and I missed issue 1. I just missed it. I didn't realize it was out until I seen this one at the comic book shop this week, and it was like, damn, I missed it. But like I said, my LCS is always cool, and they usually try to go back and order me something if I miss it. So Mine is a Long, Lonesome Grave, issue 2. Moving right along, we are already over to Image Comics, and Image had some great stuff this week, and we're going to start with Ghost Machine and Geiger, issue 12, written by Jeff Johns. And I picked up covers from Martin Morazzo and Gary Frank. They were 2 amazing covers. I just couldn't let them go. The other one does have Junkyard Joe on the cover, which I'm a huge Junkyard Joe fan as well. And in this issue, Geiger fails to take control of his explosive power surges. He must finally face the other glowing man, but his radioactive counterpart has a secret weapon that could destroy everything. Plus, Junkyard Joe and Nate the Nuclear Knight continue to uncover the secrets of the unknown war. So if you don't know Ghost Machine, there's several different storylines going throughout it. And this is part of the Unnamed universe. And within the Unnamed universe, there was an unknown war that happened. And that's what Junkyard Joe and the Nuclear Knight are investigating. But issue 12 of Geiger, fantastic, by the way. Go pick it up. Can't recommend Ghost Machine to you enough. And we're going to stay with Ghost Machine right now. And we're going to jump over to Redcoat. Issue 10, also written by Jeff Johns. Cover was by Ron Sook. In this issue, the immortal British Redcoat Simon Pure has been alive for over 100 years, and he'll stay a lousy shot. And he's still a lousy shot. Enter Annie Oakley, the most famous sharpshooter of the Wild West. She always hits the bullseye, especially the one in Simon's heart. Is it love or death at first sight for Simon? With Simon, we always bet on death first. And Simon, if you don't know, if you've read this, you know Simon's a douche. No other way to put it. He's a complete douchebag. But he's immortal, and he gets to go on all fun adventures. Can't recommend Redcoat enough. The trade paperback just came out last week. I picked it up, and this is just such a fun book. You can tell Jeff Johns and the team are having fun with this one. Go pick up Redcoat. Enjoy it, or any of the other titles from Ghost Machine. They are a ton of fun. So going on now, we got one more stop in the Spawn universe. We got 2 titles this week, and we'll start with issue 362 of Spawn, written by Todd McFarlane. Covers this week were by Marco Falia, Jeff Monk, and Jeff Monk did a Virgin variant cover. And this is the Virgin variant cover this month. It's just like his other cover. The other cover is more finished and complete, but this is the Virgin variant where it doesn't have the finished pieces on the outside. And I thought this was one of the dopest variant covers I have ever seen, to see everything where it's not unfinished, but it's finished at the same time. And it's such a cool cover. I wanted to show this one this week for this specific reason, because it's different and it's unique. And I've never seen anything done like this one before. But in this issue, Spawn's mission should have become easier with the return of his powers. But unfortunately for him, there have been those who have been waiting, planning, and building up their armies. knowing that at some point they will have the opportunity to strike back at Al Simmons. Man, it's fun. We're 362 issues into Spawn, one of the longest running modern comic books of all time. And it doesn't stop. It hasn't slowed down, and it keeps getting better. Check out Spawn if you can. So last but not least, this week we have Violator Origins issue 6, and this is the final of the series. It's written by Mark Andreyko, and I picked up the Von Randall cover, who also did the art, and the Raymond Gay cover as well. This is the Violator's tale is coming to an end. His adventures and manipulations through human history are reaching their crescendo. How much of it is true? How much of it is embellishment from the sadistic demon? Who really cares? It was a great story, right? And it really was. All 6 issues of this were fantastic front to back. Kind of sad to see it end, but really excited for what's coming up from the Spawn universe as well. You can, I don't know if they're going to release this in a trade paperback or a hardcover or not, but if you can find the titles, or you can hop on image.com and literally just buy them. It's been a fun series. Can't recommend it enough to y'all. But that is it for me and my recommendations for March 12th. Let us know what you picked up from your local comic book shop down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this 11th episode of USDN Shorts for 2025. As always, look out on my other social media platforms for where I'll post the other covers that I picked up this week. And so what's coming up for the chairman? I have a very busy schedule coming up. I'm not going to lie. Not only do I have New Comic Book Day as always, but I have 2 interviews lined up. One with Bruno Catarino will be back on the show on Sunday, the 23rd of March at 10 a.m. to discuss his new Kickstarter, Cinematic Figments Issues 1 and 2. It is a 2-book anthology series. I've already had the pleasure of reading them, and my God, they are really freaking good. I love that he kind of leaves us all on a cliffhanger of wondering what's next with these books, and this one is no different. And yeah, it's going to be really good to have Bruno back on and talk about his new Kickstarter coming up. Also, I will be sitting down with Bobby Campbell on 28 March at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with his new Kickstarter, Tales of Illuminatus, Issue 2, which is based off the trilogy of books titled The Illuminatus by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. So I'm really excited to sit down with Bobby as well and discuss the Illuminatus. I had a chance to sit down and read Issue 1 of this book. And it's different. It is very different than what I'm used to from a comic book perspective, because he is translating a trilogy of books into comic book format. And the books themselves are fairly weird. So the start of the comic book is very weird as well on Issue 1. But it works itself out as it goes. And once you finally are into the story does flow very nicely and really enjoyable with what they're doing with the book, or what the original books were about, and how he's translating it to the comic book form. It's really interesting. I'm looking forward to sitting down with Bobby to discuss that. So that's all I have this week and what I got coming up for y'all. As always, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below, and let us know what you picked up this week for your New Comic Book Day. And on behalf of myself and the Council of Nerds, this USDN short is USDN approved. Thank you all.